Gabrieli Pessanha has once again proven why she is the queen of the mats. After an incredible performance at the recent Abu Dhabi Grand Slam in Rio, with 1 submission, 3 victories, and another Grand Slam gold for the collection, Gabrieli is again the #1 ranked AJP female black belt in the world. Let's break down how this 95-kilo powerhouse forged her road to gold in Rio. In her first match of the event, Gabrieli elected to pull close guard right from the start. Gabi is comfortable off her back and has a combination of attacks she threatens from here, including sweeps, back takes, triangles, and arm bars. Her first attack comes in the form of a loop choke, which wasn't successful but immediately puts her opponent on the retreat. Gabi is constantly off-balancing her opponent, threatening the 2-on-1 back take, and overall being offensive from the bottom. Again, she goes for the loop choke, ultimately looking for the single point for the submission attempt, but again her opponent escapes. This time, however, she wants nothing to do with Gabrieli's closed guard any longer and gets to her feet in an attempt to escape. Gabi is ready for this and immediately goes for the flower sweep, but somehow her opponent is able to flatten out to prevent the reversal. But Gabi earns herself favorable grips in this exchange and sets up a side closed guard with a sleeve grip. This position is crucial to her success in this match. From here, she does some crafty grip work to set up an awesome attack. She passes the sleeve grip with her left hand off to her opposite hand over and behind her opponent's back. Sometimes you see athletes trap the arm like this behind the back, but with their foot. Here, Gabi uses her free hand, which creates the perfect opportunity to shoot the triangle, which is exactly what she does. But instead of fighting for the submission, Gabi knows the clock is ticking, and if she doesn't get the tap, the match could end with no score. So what does she do? She immediately starts looking for points. She grabs her opponent's pants in order to go for the sweep, but she doesn't have the leverage, so instead she makes a very smart choice to chase the back. Because she made the decision to trap her opponent's arm, she has one hand free to attack. When the sweep doesn't work, she makes a cross sleeve grip, aborts the triangle, and pulls her opponent across her body right into back control. From here, it's just a matter of time before she gets the right grips to finish the bow and arrow for the submission. Watch that sequence again. This was a beautiful display of grip work, clock management, and being offensive from the start. In her second match of the day, Gabrieli started off in the same way, pulling the closed guard and immediately looking to attack. She switches to an open guard and starts looking for grips to sweep or set up the omoplata or triangle, but her opponent stays very tight and low, making any attacks fruitless. Again, she returns to the closed guard and even has a nice off-balance attempt, dumping her opponent to the ground, but ultimately coming up empty. At the 3-minute mark, you can see Gabi look at the clock and realize her opponent is playing very tight and the closed guard is not the answer for the moment. She needs to elevate and get under her opponent to make anything happen. So that's exactly what she does. She opens her guard and gets a foot in the biceps, where she gets underneath to a sort of X-guard position. With her opponent's legs now exposed, she elects to isolate one and attack the toe hold. A smart move, as this gets her a very valuable point with the 2-minute mark approaching. To widen the lead, Gabrieli elects to come up in the 50-50, earning another 2 in the process. Her opponent does a good job of fighting for position from 50-50 and eventually is able to sweep back and get herself on the scoreboard. With just 20 seconds left in the match, she knows she needs a near submission point to tie it up at 3-3. She elects for the belly down footlock. Unfortunately, she makes a mistake and doesn't let the lock go when Gabi comes up, which ends in a DQ for a reap. It was an easy mistake to make in the heat of the moment. However, she needed to let go of the lock or remove the reap for the position to continue. Either way, Gabi was likely moving on to the finals with or without the DQ. The finals saw Gabrieli matched up against her rival, Yara Suarez, in what was sure to be her toughest match of the day. Again, Gabi pulls guard, but her strategy is markedly different in this one. She immediately starts setting up the lapel guard. It's clear Gabi's goal is to score first. She gets to a strong sweeping position with the reverse de la worm guard and even puts Yara to her butt. But the exchange ends back in closed guard. Eventually, Yara makes her way to her feet and Gabrieli changes to the squid guard. Her diverse knowledge of the lapel guards was on full display in this one. What's interesting is that although Gabi was less offensive in this match compared to her others, she basically neutralized Suarez, who was uncertain in how to mount any offense of her own against the lapel grips. At the 1 minute mark, Gabi makes her way to the side close guard again, looking to take Yara's back or sweep her over. Yara is too savvy though, and gets back to the close guard. With less than a minute on the clock, both women know they need to make something happen. So Gabi opens her guard and Yara stands up, trying to retreat out of the squid lapel grip. But with the squid guard in place, Yara's retreat is ineffective, as Gabi is now able to invert under and get behind her opponent. This forces a scramble in the final seconds, with Gabrieli ultimately coming up behind Yara and earning the point to win the match. Overall, Gabrieli's road to gold was forged through an offensive guard, smart clock management and point scoring strategy, and effective use of lapel guards in the final. At only 20 years old, there is much more to be seen from the Queen, Gabrieli Pessanha.